So after the mess that was Midnight Season 1 when it came to add-ons, Season 2 has a much more solid list of add-ons that you should always have to support you on your journey to Keystone Myth. In this video, I will go over every single add-on I'm using and think are a must-have to make your life a little bit easier pushing those keys, especially in the early stages of the season. DBM, bigwigs and such won't be mentioned here, as everybody either has them or at least knows about them, so this list will consist of add-ons that some of you might have never even heard of. Before we jump into it with the first one, I want to mention that as of this video's release, I will be live on twitch.tv/Varroyan, doing some pre-season start prep, and if you're watching it when the season is already live, I'm most definitely pushing those keys until I can't take it anymore. If you want to catch me live or just have some questions about this list, hop on over and ask away. Anyways, let's get into it with the first one. Let's jump into how to install add-ons in the first place for those who don't know. If you already do, feel free to skip ahead to the first add-on in this list. There's multiple ways to install add-ons nowadays. There's the old school method, where you browse on the internet to find the add-on you're looking for, download it, and drag it into your add-ons folder inside your game file. This method is, as I said, kind of outdated and very slow. If an add-on ever gets an update, you will have to manually re-download that update, and if you have multiple, it will eventually become a pain in the butt to do it almost daily. The main method most players use to get their add-ons is by installing the CurseForge app or the WoWup.io client, which are pretty much the same thing. I personally prefer the CurseForge app, but I also heard a lot of positive things about the WoWup.io client, so choose whichever you find more appealing to you. Once you've installed one of these two, it will automatically find the installed WoW version on your PC, and all you have to do now is select the correct version of WoW you want to install add-ons for, and then search for whichever add-on you want to download. If any of your installed add-ons get an update in the future, you can install them by simply clicking on the Update All button at the top right here and save a ton of time. I recommend looking into your client every single day to check if there's a new update for your add-ons, as some might not work if they are not on the latest version. Alright, now that we know how to install add-ons, we can start talking about the first add-on. We have all encountered some very interesting specimen in Mythic Plus. Whether it's one of the bottom DPS flaming the crap out of the tank, someone playing terribly bad, making you feel like he swiped his card to get his current rating, or maybe someone who's consistently disconnecting because his internet was bad. Obviously, he can't do anything about it, but you still wouldn't want to play with him anymore. Your usual move is to put them on ignore. That way, you won't see the messages and they won't be able to whisper you anymore. The downside to that though is that even if you ignore them, you can still join a group they are in without ever realizing it. Unless you have every player's name in your ignore list memorized, there's realistically no way of you knowing whether or not you want to avoid a specific player in your current group or not. That's when the next add-on comes in. Blacklist Warden. Blacklist Warden will allow you to put players into a separate blacklist and give you options to pick why you put them there, and give you a little notepad to give some context as well so you don't forget in the future. So if you get into a group with a toxic player, you can put them in that list for being toxic, give a little description on what happened, and the next time you join a group with that player, you will get a huge warning popping up on your screen reminding you why exactly you want to avoid this person. This add-on saved me from a lot of headaches, and I've been able to dodge players that have made my gameplay experience worse overall. If you could only take one add-on from this list, pick this one. Now, Mythic Plus can get very hectic and also very chaotic. Some pulls cause a ton of casts and abilities to overlap with each other, making it practically impossible to know what's going on your screen at all. And sometimes I catch myself losing my cursor in the midst of that screen vomit and quickly try to figure out where it is so I can target that one mob that needs to be kicked ASAP. A small little helpful add-on that basically eliminated moments like this is Cursor Tray. Cursor Tray allows you to customize your cursor in many different ways. You can add a colored circle around it, make it poop out rainbows when you move it, give it a lightning animation, which as an enhancement main is quite perfect, and lots more. Using this add-on correctly will make your cursor so much more visible, even in those previously mentioned screen vomit scenarios, making it way easier to locate it in the heat of battle and target the mob that needs a kick in no time. Us WoW players, especially Mythic Plus players, love min-maxing stuff, but while we do that in-game pretty regularly, we often stack debuffs in real life, costing us our precious health.
My back! Oh, my back!
Another add-on that is a must-have if you value your health even a little bit is the E7 Pro from FlexiSpot, who's also this video's sponsor. Everyone should have a standing desk if they spend a lot of time on their computers, especially if you sit there like a dead shrimp waiting to get invited into that +12 you've applied to 30 minutes ago. The E7 Pro standing desk offers a smooth and stable height adjustment thanks to its powerful dual motor system, and on top of that, it's incredibly quiet. It supports up to 180 kg, accommodating various work setups or just laying flat on top when you're once again questioning your life choices at 3 AM. The biggest issue I always had with standing desks as a 6'6/204cm tall guy was that they simply didn't reach my ideal height. But this desk ranges from 63.5 centimeters to up to 128.5 centimeters, without the tabletop, making the E7 Pro ideal for tall people like me. The advanced control panel offers a memory setting for customized height preferences, so you will always have the perfect height settings no matter the occasion. This one is especially useful if multiple people with different heights use the same desk. Oh, and it has a built-in USB charging port for devices, which is quite neat since my USB slots are usually all filled up at this point. Additionally, the E7 Pro is also equipped with an anti-collision system and child safety lock to prevent unintended adjustments or any accidents. And if you're still on the fence about it all, let me also tell you that the E7 Pro has a 15-year warranty and free return within 30 days. So you literally have nothing to lose. Especially since FlexiSpot is currently celebrating its 10th anniversary, which means there's plenty of great deals on offer, including big discounts on the E7 Pro of course. Plus, every order placed in August has a chance to win a €10,000 golden ticket. And that's not all. 50% cashback, 12% off everything, and many more promotions are waiting for you. If the E7 Pro doesn't speak to you, or you already have a standing desk, FlexiSpot also provides all kinds of other ergonomic chairs, sofas, and much more to meet your demand. I've put the link in the description below, so feel free to browse and shop around. Thanks to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video, and let's continue with the next must-have add-on in this list. Next up is the Mythic Plus Utility add-on, or MPU in short. This add-on will give you a nice and compact list that shows up every single time you enter a seasonal dungeon and will display which of your class-specific talents you should take and maybe opt out of. Clicking on the talent suggestions will give you reasons why, like maybe taking Tremor Totem instead of Poison Cleansing Totem in Void Scar Arena because one of these mobs has a pretty nasty fear. This might not sound that important at first, as you could realistically complete any dungeon without min-maxing your class right now, but the higher you go in your key levels, the more you will want to reduce the stress on your tanks and healers to prevent unfortunate wipes or breaking your key. You can also customize this list by adding your own talent suggestions and add reasons why. So if you really want to take Tremor Totem for a specific CC in a dungeon that isn't mentioned on this list, you can always adjust accordingly. MPU helped me out tremendously by reminding me right before starting the key that I should adjust my talents to the dungeon I'm currently in. There were a lot of moments in my keys where I really regretted forgetting to change my talents, so I'm really grateful this add-on exists. This next add-on is especially useful in higher keys, where any ability that flies your way can and will blow you up from 100 to 0 in a single frame, and it is even more important if you are a DPS or a healer. Targeted spells will display a compact list of all abilities that are going to hit you in a few seconds, allowing you to perfectly time your cooldowns or defensives and preventing you from getting one-shot by random abilities in a dungeon. Blizzard already tried adding ways to see if you are being targeted by abilities in Midnight with the nameplates update, but in the heat of battle, they honestly are so hard to read that you might as well just gamble and hit all your defensives randomly and hope you don't die at that point. Targeted spells will highlight them point blank on top of your screen, and there's no possible way for you to miss them at all. This can most certainly prevent key-breaking wipes and take stress off your healer and tank. Pretty simple, yet very helpful add-on to be using in Mythic Plus or even raid environments honestly. Moving on to an add-on that most of you probably already heard of. If you usually play alone or with one or two friends, this add-on is a must-have if you want to find a fitting group for your team. Pre-made Groups Filter is an add-on that helps you filter out the already messy group finder list and helps you find the perfect group for you and your team. You can select which difficulty, you can filter out specific dungeons you don't want listed, if the group needs a bloodlust or a battle res, and so much more. You can limit how many DPS are in the group or how high the M+ rating of the group is, and with an advanced filter expression, you can even go further and find the exact team you want. For example, by searching only for teams with a Brewmaster in it. You can even exclude certain specs and classes if you really don't want to play with them right now. This tool will allow you to skip over the tedious parts of looking for a group and instantly find you the right match for you. Granted, you will need to get invited, but that's another story. M+ Timer is an add-on that was previously a weak aura. If you ever dropped by my streams, you might have certainly seen this black box replacing the default M+ Timer. This used to be a weak aura, which got turned into an add-on, which works exactly the same now. Once installed, type /mpt in your chat, opening this window. Now click on preview to get a preview window on how things will look like, and then you can move it around and adjust it to be wherever you want it displayed. On a basic level, this window will show you the name of the dungeon, the bosses, the key level, and how many enemies you still have to kill. Although it looks like the information is the same as on the default one, unlike the default UI, this add-on will show you the exact amount of count you still have to kill in order to complete the mob count to 100%. It will also show you how much faster or slower you have been compared to the other times you've run this dungeon on this exact key level, giving you a better clarity on how good you are in your time, and if you have improved compared to the previous runs. You can obviously customize it to a certain extent, like changing the colors of the text and background, change which numbers are displayed, which bosses are shown, etc. etc. But I think this add-on is perfect the way it is in its default settings. So if you want to have a little bit more information about your progress in your runs, make sure to get M+ timer. It really is a must-have quality of life add-on if you take M+ seriously. Keymaster is perfect for anyone who's actively involved in Mythic Plus content. The goal of this add-on is to provide a single location to display everything M+ related about you and your entire party. Once installed, simply type /km in your chat or click on the minimap button and this window will pop up. Here, you will be able to track everyone's rating, which key they have, and how much their rating would improve if you did one of these keys in your group. This add-on is perfect for pre-made groups, as it depends on everyone having it installed. If someone doesn't have this add-on, their stats won't be displayed, unfortunately, but that is just another downside of the recent add-on changes. But even if you use it on your own, you can find a lot of value from this add-on. Inside the player tab, you can check how much your rating would improve if you did a certain key level and dungeon. So if you want to see if you can squeeze out those 60 ratings for your Keystone hero as quickly as possible, you can type in a certain key level and check if it would be enough to reach your goal. You can obviously also check your other characters and see how much their rating would improve, and so much more. There's tons of other nice quality of life things, like the current week's affixes on the top right and which key you have, buttons for the dungeon location, loot table, and quick access to your vault. All in all, this add-on is perfect if you want to keep track of your M+ progress and find out which dungeon you should approach next. Talent Loadout X is an add-on that is a no-brainer if you want to make the best out of your class and spec. It allows you to create different profiles/loadouts for your talents and gives you the ability to change small things around, like taking Poison Cleansing Totem instead of Purge and Shaman, for example. Talent Loadout is especially useful for classes that provide a lot of utility, like previously mentioned Shamans and Druids. Now, why would you need an add-on for different talent profiles, you ask? Well, first off, the UI is simply way cleaner than the default UI. You can click on every loadout and see the talent tree without having to swap to it first. Additionally, you can edit every loadout as well without having to swap to them, making the process of adjusting way easier and way faster. It's a small quality of life thing, but I couldn't see myself playing Mythic Plus without it anymore, especially since I usually have a talent tree for every single dungeon in the season. Now, this last add-on is something that I've seen everybody use recently, and that is buff reminders. With this add-on, you will never forget to use your buff food, your flask, or to apply Wind Fury and Flame Tongue weapon on Enhanced Charm. Am I right, Kusi? You can select which buffs will pop up when you're missing them and which you want to ignore. The cool thing about this add-on is that if you're missing a buff that one of your teammates can provide, you can let them know as well without having to type it out every single time. This might not sound that important, but the difference between having and not having Mark of the Wild could decide whether or not you survive the upcoming pull or big cast. Especially in high keys, you should use this add-on to be able to min-max your spec and roll to the fullest and not miss out on important buffs like Sky Fury on Frosty Case, for example. And these are all the add-ons that are, in my opinion, a must-have for the upcoming Mythic Plus season. If there's ever an add-on in the future that I think is another must-have, I will upload a showcase video about it as well. To not miss that and any of my future uploads, consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. If you want your very own E7 Pro standing desk and do your back and overall health a favor, consider using the link in the description below and get yours before the discounts are all gone. If you always wanted to learn how to play Enhancement Shaman, check out my in-depth Enhancement Shaman guide for Season 2. After watching that video, you won't need any other guides for the rest of the season. I promise you. Anyways, that's it for me. I wish you all a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one or live on Twitch.